Hey guys, check it out! You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube! Oh no! You guys are the most incredibly supportive Descendants and Zombies fans in the universe. I say this because this universe is really big, but I know forever and always there is a girl who watches these videos who loves Descendants and Zombies so much, with all of her heart. So because she loves Descendants and Zombies with all of her heart, some way or somehow she's going to find a channel that dedicates itself to uploading Descendants and Zombies videos, just so she can hit your subscribe button. So she can let you know that she loves you for uploading Descendants and Zombies videos. And this happens every single day for me on this YouTube channel. Why? I really don't know. But every single day up to 10 people hit my subscribe button. I get thousands of views, and the love and support that I receive from this incredibly supportive niche, this never say die, never quit on you, never go away attitude, is exactly what I wanted to see happen for this YouTube channel, because I know how passionate everybody is about Descendants and Zombies. So because I know how passionate everybody is about Descendants and Zombies, I always wanted to be here because of you. I always wanted to be here in support of who and what you believed. So because I was always wanting to be here in support of who and what you believed in, when I saw Kylie Control crying all the time, when I saw Ruby Rose Turner upset because she was turned down for roles, Meg Donnelly left brokenhearted because she wasn't Supergirl in the live-action Superman movie this past summer, my heart went out to them. And my heart's forever and always went out to them and went out to you guys, because I know how you feel about people like Meg Donnelly and Kylie Control, how much of a chance you wanted to take on them, how much time you wanted to spend in love with them forever because of the character Red from Descendants, Addison Wells from Zombies, whoever you were a fan of. You saw yourself through the eyes of those characters, and you've forever and always been supportive of them. And I'm here to tell you guys, I think that's cool. I think every year on Halloween, when a girl shows up at my door dressed up as their favorite Descendants character, regardless of who they are, Mal, Evie, Bridget, Red, Chloe, it's awesome. Because it shows how passionate each and every one of you are of these characters, how much you believe that life is emphatically sweeter when you try to make a difference in somebody's life. However you do it, in whatever ways that you express your kindness. That's exactly what I wanted to have happen for Descendants and Zombies fans. That's how I wanted you guys to feel inspired. And you guys do it every single time, and you never cease to amaze me. And for that, for all the love and support you've shown this YouTube channel from day one, from the very first video that was ever uploaded on this YouTube channel, I just simply want to say from my heart to yours, thank you so much. Because I really believe there are people out there that don't understand the emphatic message of Descendants and Zombies, which was always and forever acceptance, how one could find true love, how hope exists. There are so many messages emphatically relayed with Descendants and Zombies every single time we see a new chapter, a new storyline presented, the conflict with the characters, because you can't have a story without conflict, and you can't have a story without a climax, a beginning, a middle, and an end. That's what they teach you every year in high school, how to develop a story and to understand the concept of deriving a story, because a story just doesn't happen. A story happens because of an idea, and then an idea becomes a phenomenon, an expansion of what an idea originally was. So a board meeting happens between 500 Disney executives. They throw ideas at each other at the table, and they come up with the concept of Red, because development of the Rise of Red began back in late 2021 after the teaser was dropped that we were going to see Alice in Wonderland characters and Cinderella characters in the Descendants franchise for the first time ever, which I was incredibly excited about, because they used the Royal Wedding animated special with the voices of the original characters who had told the story at that point and completed it. Although I never believed the story between Mal, Evie, Chloe, whoever was over at that point in time. I think that it was a great way to set up for the unofficial passing of the torch, because there never was an official passing of the torch moment, because I believe that every franchise has a moment of significance and a moment of meaning that is forever and always held a special place in our heart. And when I heard about the Alice in Wonderland and the Cinderella characters coming into the franchise for the first time ever, I was more than excited about it, because I'd always been a fan of Alice in Wonderland characters. I've forever and always been asking, where is Alice in the Descendants franchise? Because Alice was just a beautiful character. That was what was so beautiful about Alice, was that she was just so genuinely beautiful. And everything about her looks, everything about her personality was what a person really aspires to be and can feel admired about and feel very passionate about, because Alice felt very passionate about everybody and everything. No matter who played Alice over the years, from the live action, of course, Alice in Wonderland, Alice in the Looking Glass, There are a total of 4 books in the series. There's even a book based off Alice's relationship with Jabberwockies. So if they go as far as to look at Alice's relationship with Jabberwockies, which I believe was the 3rd or 4th book in this installments, I think there is so much of a story that yet can be told. And when you talk about Ruby Rose Turner seeing her exit from the franchise because Bridget is no longer required, because she told the story and offered us an explanation about why the Queen of Hearts turned out the way she did. Okay, so she offered us an explanation as to why the Queen of Hearts turned out the way she did. Explain why she was so evil. I think every villain has a greater appreciation for their story because they're misunderstood. There's always darkness associated with that character, always some little bit of annoyance. But I think with Ruby can really work with anything or anyone or any opportunity. So, if there is no Alice in the Descendants franchise, why can't it be Ruby? Why did Ruby just have to go? The thing is, Ruby inspired so many wonderful people, and people felt connected to the Descendants franchise because of Ruby. I became a better person because of Ruby. I'm kinder because of Ruby. I treat people with more kindness in my lifetime because I see how Ruby is. And because I don't want to let Ruby down, because I want Ruby to know that she's forever and always held a special place in my heart, I think the best way to talk about Descendants of Zombies is not only just talk about Descendants of Zombies, because anybody can talk about Descendants of Zombies. If you watch the movie even once, from beginning to end what happens, you can pretty much decipher what the story is about, what's coming next. Because Descendants is not really that unpredictable of a plot. It's just everybody's just so excited to see what's going to happen next. Because, if there are 10 million fans of Descendants of Zombies, you know what's going to happen next. You can pretty much decipher it. But because you're a fan of Descendants of Zombies, you're just overwhelmingly excited about what's happening next. And you just want to be a part of it like the other 10 million people who love it. But the cool thing about Descendants is, no matter if you're just one fan of Descendants of Zombies, of 10 million, the Descendants stars have made you feel as if you're part of something special from the very beginning. I have tried desperately to try to make everybody feel equal, everybody feel as if they're a part of something special, a part of history, that we are all going to be a part of because it's undeniable. And I think everybody's contributions to Descendants of Zombies is something to take into consideration, because a lot of people wouldn't look at it that way. A lot of people would say, okay, I have 10 million subscribers because they're fans of Descendants of Zombies, and let's just talk about Descendants of Zombies. But do they ever tell you how they really feel about the plot, what happened in the previous chapter, what they think is going to happen, what the reason is for them being a Descendants fan, why their favorite character is their favorite character? I think a lot of it had to do with the kindness that I saw from these stars, not only on Descendants, but shows like Gabby Duran and Coop and Cammy and Raven's Home and Berserkwerk and High School Musical, the musical, the series, which is the coolest name for a Disney Channel TV show ever, Disney Plus. I think, you've really got to look at the resumes of these stars, how far they've come, and just how dedicated they've been to everything that they brought to life. Freya Sky just came from out of nowhere. Everybody instantly fell in love with her because they knew she was going to be someone special, and undoubtedly she was. And because I know how special she is to each and every one of you, I give you my word, I will forever be behind Freya Sky, pushing her, giving her that little extra push to help ensure her legacy goes down in history for being one of the greatest of all time. And I know she's only 16 years old. She only just turned 16 this month, back on the 17th. But even though she still has a long way to go, that doesn't mean that we can't support her and help ensure that she gets to where she has to go, because it's meant to happen. That doesn't mean that we can't support Kylie Control because of how people feel about her, because they're just critics. And the worst people in the world are some of these critics, because they will try to take away your hopes and dreams about Descendants of Zombies. They will try to discourage people like Kylie Control because they can get a reaction out of Kylie Control. And that's what breaks my heart, is that Kylie Control is so soft-hearted, and she lets everything get to her and bother her to a point where she just can't take it anymore. And she doesn't go on YouTube anymore. She doesn't Google herself. I've heard the girl say herself that she's not going to YouTube herself anymore. And I think that is unacceptable. Because when you have somebody creating so many wonderful moments and so many beautiful things and so many beautiful opportunities being, represented to her and presented to her all the time, I think that more credit and more respect can be shown to her, because there are millions of people out there that love Kylie Control. There is a reason why Kylie Control has nearly 500,000 people following her on social. It's because Kylie Control is loved. And the fans of Kylie Control show it every single day. So every single time she misses her friends, I think she needs to think about her fans and how much of a friend they actually have meant to being for her, and how they've always been there for Kylie Control from the very beginning. I say this because I was one of them. And I will elaborate more on this in an upcoming podcast later on today on my YouTube channel, because I really believe that never enough support, never enough love can be shown to someone like Kylie Control, who I know still has a long way to go. And even though she still has a long way to go, that doesn't mean that she can't get there, because she has the love and support of everybody. She's had the love and support of everybody for forever. So for Kylie Control to feel the way that she does, that tells me she's really soft-hearted. And I love that about Kylie, because it's not always about a celebrity and how popular they are like Taylor Swift. It's always about how many numbers of fans Taylor Swift has. It's always about how many numbers of fans Ariana Grande can put up on social, because of her role as Belinda the Good Witch in Wicked for Good this forthcoming November, which I will admit to each and every one of you I bought tickets for. But I bought tickets for it because you guys love Wicked, and you guys show it every single time that you subscribe to this YouTube channel, because I do have fans of Wicked subscribe to this YouTube channel, which I think is really cool, which I think is really down to earth. If you love Ariana Grande for whatever reasons you do, and you love the Wicked production, because I think everybody can relate to what, entertainment is putting out there, but I think the way they're distributing it is almost like, okay, these lives that these stars are living are perfect. I mean, we see Kylie Control with a pool in the background, in the backyard, having fun all the time, dancing in her own personal private studio in her home. It just seems to be a perfect kind of life, but we never really take into consideration what they're going through, how they may be feeling, and I think that's why their relationships really don't work out for the better, because the guy she's with doesn't really prioritize Descendants in the role of Red, meaning so much to Kylie Control. I can say this kind of stuff because I know how much it means to her and how much it touches her heart to be an iconic Descendants character, because it's something she's always wanted to be, ever before she met that idiot, ever before people started feeling the way they do about her, because I really believe that Kylie Control is somebody who is special and deserves all the credit in the world. And I say this because everybody has offered something special to the Descendants franchise, and if it means so much to them, then I think we should just support it, and we should just be here saying really nice things about Descendants and zombies, because that's what people want to hear. That's what people want to see on YouTube, and that's all I've ever wanted to give to you guys. Am I excited about Wicked for Good this forthcoming fall? Yes, I am. Am I excited about the next chapter of Descendants? You had better believe it. And I'm really excited to join you guys to talk about Descendants and Zombies and what I think is coming next, because the exciting thing about it is I don't know what's coming next, and that's what makes it so fun for me being a fan of Descendants and Zombies, is that you don't really know what to expect. You don't really know what's coming next, because there are so many different scenarios that people can talk about. The story of Aladdin and Jasmine, the story of Meg and Hercules, the story of characters from Encanto and Princess and the Frog, which were beautiful musicals in their own right. And for those of you who have not seen the Princess and the Frog musical, it is a beautiful, beautiful representation of New Orleans festivals and music. And I think that we should really take a chance on characters like Princess Tiana and all the Dr. Faisler, and I'm really expecting to see a son or daughter of Dr. Faisler in this franchise who could present the argument for being the next villain in the Descendants franchise, because Dr. Faisler was very unpredictable in 2011's Princess and the Frog, and it made it a fun musical for everybody. I think it was an enjoyable experience. So I think that not only showing characters of lore and history in the Descendants franchise a greater appreciation, I think we can get away with showing a greater appreciation to the newer villains and the newer heroes, because for every villain there's a hero, and people like Alice in Wonderland would have never existed if not for the Queen of Hearts. People like Ariel would have never existed because of Ursula. I think that for every villain there's a hero, and I think there's a greater appreciation for every character that sees his or her introduction into this franchise, because they can offer a lot to it. And even if you don't need the original characters to reprise their roles, you can always repackage characters and have them come back under different roles to make people feel inspired all over again. And that's what's so exciting about Descendants of Zombies, is how really this appreciative vibe that you get from these stars seems to happen all the time. It seems to be a reoccurring theme, because a lot of people like Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson just looked at it as an opportunity to kind of just show up and kind of just tell everybody, why we're here, what's coming for us in the future. Really just looked at it as an opportunity. But I think that Kylie Control, Malia Baker, Ruby, they ran with this, and they've been so appreciative of it ever since. And I think that if more people understood how appreciative they've actually been of these roles and how they really made it work for millions of people, I think that there would be a greater appreciation for Descendants of Zombies. But unfortunately, because mostly everybody just uploads a reaction video about Descendants of Zombies, that's all you're seeing. And I really believe the first time they watched Descendants of Zombies is for the purpose of recording that reaction video. And that's why all the time I say I'm sorry to each and every one of you for having to subject yourself to watching all these videos about Descendants of Zombies on YouTube, because one should feel encouraged about Descendants of Zombies. People who make the Descendants of Zombies franchise happen for you should not feel discouraged about their hopes and their dreams and, how they've inspired so many millions of people. Because the reality of it is, in light of all the criticism that Kylie may or may not have received, Kylie's inspired millions of people. And people are always subscribing to her, always following her on social. And that's exactly what I wanted to have happen for Kylie Control. I wanted Kylie Control to achieve the greatest accolades that any star that ever worked with the Disney company or Nickelodeon would have ever had the honor of doing. And some way or somehow, through the power of these videos, with how many people subscribe to this channel all the time, I make it happen. And it's the most rewarding feeling in the world when you can upload a video for somebody who loves Descendants of Zombies and knows she loves Descendants of Zombies so much. That's what's so cool, is that you can get away with touching somebody's heart for whatever reason that they're a fan of Descendants of Zombies, because you are too. You love Descendants of Zombies just as much as the next person in line. And you become the best of friends with people because they are fans of Descendants of Zombies. It happens all the time. And it never ceases to amaze me just how much talking about Descendants of Zombies touches the heart of somebody, how you can upload a video, you can get a lot of likes, and you can get a lot of subscribers from your opinion being shared about Descendants of Zombies and how it touched your heart. Because 10 years ago, I can't lie, Descendants of Zombies really did touch my heart in so many emphatic ways. And that's why I can get away with uploading hundreds of videos about Descendants of Zombie stars, because I know how much the franchises have meant to each and every one of you. So because I know how much the franchises have meant to each and every one of you, that's why I love uploading so many wonderful videos about Descendants of Zombies, because I know some way or somehow these videos never fail to touch your heart. Do I think there's a foreseeable future with Descendants of Zombies? Sure I do. Do I think that people should be discouraged that Descendants 5 and Zombies 5 will not happen? I think that it's really what you believe that really matters, outside of all the criticism the critics are trying to throw your way, because they're trying to sell you something that you're going to buy and you're going to believe in, because that's what a critic does. That's the sole purpose of a critic. So it's all about how much you believe in Descendants of Zombies getting to the point that it's at. And I think that through the passion for the dolls and the Worlds Collide Tour merch and the Descendants merch in general, and how passionate everybody is about it, I think 10 million people have a case to present to every critic out there. Have a case in point. And I think that fans of Descendants of Zombies are far more smarter than they've ever been given credit for, and deserve way more respect than they've ever been shown, because in all honesty, you guys know more about Descendants of Zombies than I've ever known. I was just a guy uploading videos on YouTube that made no sense to people over 10 years ago. And after a decade passed, girls inspired me to upload videos about Descendants of Zombies because they loved it and they were very passionate about it. And that's what made it so special for me and such an honor to be here. Was I had the honor of not only talking about Descendants of Zombies, but I had the honor of meeting so many wonderful people who felt the same way I did about Descendants of Zombies. And that's why I can upload 3 to 4 videos every day about Descendants of Zombies on this YouTube channel and have no regrets. Because I really do believe if there was anything that I could target or anything that I could trigger in your heart, it would be a memory from Descendants of Zombies, or a favorite song, or however you became a fan of Descendants of Zombies, I supported. And I just can't believe from day to day how much support this YouTube channel receives, because I just started uploading videos about Descendants of Zombies really at random. I never knew how much of a reach these videos were going to have, what kind of response I was going to get. But 10 years later, here I am with the most popular Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel in the world. I have each and every one of you to thank for that, because in all honesty, I don't know where I'd be without you guys. Probably just streaming video games, playing Crash Bandicoot, Spyro the Dragon, Spider-Man, Batman all the time. I've often wondered, what your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars feel about Batman and Spider-Man and playing the video games, because I was always very passionate about video games. I was also very passionate about shows like Are You Afraid of the Dark, Sailor Moon, Goosebumps years ago, the original animated Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man from the 1960s with Pete Souls as the voice of Spider-Man. I was always a big fan of the show Gargoyles and Goof Troop and Hercules. So I know what it's like to be each and every one of you. So because I know what it's like to be each and every one of you, I'd like to channel that. And I'd like to bring back fond memories of whatever you were a fan of because you were a fan of it. And I just like to show, shows like The Vampire Diaries, which Freya Sky is a big fan of, Twilight, which she's a big fan of, video games and board games, which she's a big fan of. I think about you guys and what you want to see in a video and the value behind a video, because if you don't really showcase a video for the value behind it, then what's the point of ever uploading a video about whatever you're talking about, because the purpose is really defeated. I think everybody out there deserves a chance to believe that happily ever after exists, one can find true love, and that there's really a chance for hope for everybody out there, no matter who you are or what you may be going through. Seriously, guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much for allowing me to be your voice of Descendants and Zombies, with nearly 3,430 people subscribed to this YouTube channel. It is unbelievable. Actually, I think 3,440 people have subscribed to this YouTube channel. I think that's about right. So many people have subscribed to this YouTube channel. I even forget the number of people who have subscribed. Thank you guys so much. If you have not yet subscribed to this YouTube channel, you're probably going to want to do that, because I have a lot of conversation and a lot to get to today about Descendants and Zombies, like Alice in Wonderland, and my thoughts on that, and the foreseeable future of Descendants and Zombies, and where I think Kylie Contrell and Malia Baker could be headed, and if Happily Ever After was indeed all they ever could have imagined it would be, although I've got my doubts. We will talk more about that today, and I will upload even more videos about Descendants and Zombies coming your way on the official YouTube channel of Descendants and Zombies, the unofficial podcast, if you would, of Descendants and Zombies. It's the official Descendants and Zombies podcast in all of our hearts, but it's the unofficial Descendants and Zombies podcast until given that distinction from Disney, which I think we're getting closer to every day, because more people are subscribing to this YouTube channel because they are a fan of Descendants and Zombies. And if you are a fan of Descendants and Zombies, I would love to have you on the ride on this incredible journey that we've been on for what feels like forever. Journey I hope never ever sees its conclusion, because many people will say Descendants and Zombies is going to have a dramatic conclusion, and I, for one, just refuse to believe that, because there's so much of a story left to be told about Descendants and Zombies, and one that I could be more excited to be a part of with each and every one of you guys. Seriously, thank you so much, because life really is sweeter when all of us are. Stay calm and zombie on, everybody. Life really is sweeter when all of us are, and we will talk more about Descendants and Zombies all throughout today. Seriously, guys, thank you so much.